Look at these villains of society, causing mayhem, causing public unrest, destroying futures, destroying history, manipulating the brains from the young and to the old, spitting on the graves of their saviors. Pride, greed, wrath, envy, gluttony, sloth, and despair, all in one. We are all here for that, though. Welcome to the Village Room. Hello. Welcome, guys, to the Villain's Room. I'm your host, Villain Mills, and I'm here today with a special guest, Alicia. Now, today, we're going to talk about something a little bit serious about today's culture and the kids who rule it. It seems like it's very attention-seeking, I've seen so many prank videos. I've seen so many false information being spread and people consuming it. I've seen a lot of outlandish things that people are picking up, and it's kind of messing with the order of things that we have set for thousands and hundreds of years, going against it. Now, there's no issue going against certain things, but like when it comes to example like gender roles, or when it comes to behaviors that should be not accepted now being accepted, it's kind of creating a generation of weak men and women who of course think they could go into men's roles. Now, Alicia, I know you have children, and I've known you've seen some of the messaging out there, especially with the attention-seeking culture. Like, what are the things that you're afraid of, like, when your kids grow up? Like, what are the things that you're afraid of from these people who are just saying things?
Yeah, absolutely. So, right now in raising my kids, I want to say, real quick what I recognize in them. And what I recognize in them as children, right? Children are like out of control in a sense, right? And as a parent, I understand that they're out of control. My role is to teach them, how to, form that discipline, that character, and really to bring everything under control on their own. But like right now, it's like training day. So it's me, basically training them for what they're going to have to provide for themselves when it comes time for them to grow up, right? So with that being said, my oldest daughter, she loves attention, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it can manifest itself in an overload, and I have to have realistic conversations with her to kind of ground her and bring her back down, right, to earth or whatever, to let her know, like, a lot of the gratitude, a lot of the gratification that you're going to experience throughout life, is not just going to be because of what you can get, from like any one person or thing or whatever. It's going to be about what you can give, right? It's going to be a balance. Like for instance, like you're going to realize in life that when you're feeling low and you're feeling like, oh, I want that instant gratification, I want something to make me feel good real quick. Yeah, that's good sometime, but if you do that in excess, that's going to be really, really bad for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been there, An example, like, if I want to feel good real quick in the past, I would just go, have a drink or something like that. You know what I mean? But eventually, my body was telling me I couldn't do that no more. So really what it is I'm starting to learn the other half of, if you're not feeling good, go do something good for somebody, because when you see what you've done for somebody else, it's going to make you feel good. That's the other side of it. And it's completely healthy, right? Yeah. And then there's also like healthy self-care. So I said all that to say, right, that I think that the reason why like a lot of people are suffering from this attention thing is because there's a part of them that's still stuck in a real out of control, childish like state of mind. They're not mature in their minds. It reminds me of my children right now in the state that they're in, and what I'm trying to train them on how not to be. So it's not necessarily that like, I don't think I really have any fears. I think it's more of an awareness and it's really surrounded around cognitive thinking, because even for myself, you know, this is like a thing that I'm just gonna be totally transparent about, because I'm gonna keep it real. It's like there's times where I'm an introverted person, but there could be a confusion in my mind sometime where, like, you know, say you know, my cousins or some you know, old friends back in the day would be getting together to do something, and in my mind, a small thing might cross my mind, like, oh, I wish I could have been a part of that. But then I go into this cognitive therapy, this cognitive way of thinking of, okay, let me not allow myself just to feel that emotion. Let me really think about what would happen after that. So say they did invite me to that thing, and everybody's smoking, drinking, and carrying on. What would I do? Because I'm not doing that anymore, right? So does it really make sense for me to feel bad that I'm not a part of that? Or should I really be thinking about where I'm going and the circles that I want to project into my life in the future? A circle of people that just get high off of life, you know what I'm saying? And what they have internally going on the inside of them that's so big that they have no need for, you know what I'm saying, any outside forces to what's the word, influence, you know what I'm saying, how they gonna feel on the inside, because what they have is already great. You feel what I'm saying? So I said all that to say that I have no worries. It's just a certain level of awareness in myself as an adult about just knowing when, like, I have that unhealthy feeling of, because it gets you nowhere to just want attention from other people, especially if you're just chasing clout. It gets you nowhere in the end. But then also being aware enough to recognize that in my children and to help them in a way that nobody was able to help me when I was younger, you know?
Sorry, guys. We got some audio trouble there. So we're going to backtrack a little bit. Because I had actually a lot to say, Alicia, about all that shit that went down. I'm like, oh, damn, she can't even hear me. All right, word, cool, whatever. But, yeah, so wouldn't you say that attention kind of revolves around having a sense of belonging in a way? Because, like, in a way, right, you want to get down with some type of group of people, but only to get down with them, you got to subscribe to their thinking. You know what I'm saying? You have to subscribe to the behaviors that they associate themselves with. That could go pretty much with, like, any group. Like, they could go with LGBTQ, could go with blah, blah, blah. It could go from the Asian cultures. It could go from tribes. It could go, thing on and so forth. So, like, as you know, for me, I've always gone against the grain. I'm not gonna lie, I'm defiant by nature. My nature is being defiant. And I don't think defiance necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. It just means that you tend to go a different direction than most of your peers. And it actually kind of followed me through career-wise as well. Like, my career took off faster than my education because I wanted to learn something different from the structure that was set up. But scratch that. I'm going on a tangent there a little bit, but just to, you know, put a little bit of, I guess, reference to, it's just that, yeah, like going against the grain, things like that. It's not. How would I say? It is not publicized enough. I think everybody is just going with the flow of other people, and more so like acting like sheep. And when you having, like, if you see some girl doing some type of prank, and then you see like 20, 30, 40, 50 other videos of them doing a similar prank to get attention, to get the views, to get their money up. Like, all TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that shit is doing is just saying, hey, this is my life, or hey, this is kind of funny. Hey, do you think this is an issue? You should agree with me. You guys should agree with my mentality, yada, yada. Who cares about this? Who cares about men? Who cares about women? Yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. And, like, it's disgusting. Like, I honestly, when I shut off my Facebook, I've never felt any better. My mind was clear. Everything was good, but once I turned it on, I'm like, oh shit, this is nasty. People just showing off their lives all the time, making it think that, you know, oh, my life is good, yada yada, but on the other side, it might not be the case. Like this attention-seeking culture in general is like I feel like it's the catalyst of many of our issues in general, and socially, society-wise. You know what I'm saying? I've like for another example is like I think the first, I guess, brainwashing of like I would say even in the black culture would be like music. Like if we go into like in terms of like standard man roles and standard woman roles and breaking those things that lasted for thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years to be exact. And if you look like listen to the songs of like Rihanna, come under my umbrella, you know, like, yo, girl, you're talking to a man, and you trying to make a roof for your man.
You should have that man's umbrella.
Exactly.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna say this. A woman, her job is to make sure that the home, you feel what I'm saying, is a safe haven for when the man come out of the brutal world that he in, he could come home to a space of love and nurturing and stuff. Because the woman is there to nurture the man. You feel what I'm saying? But it also could be misunderstood because of a lot of these women being in this like self-sufficient, I get my own money, I don't need no man, right? And so it gets crossed with that message because also, like, you know, there's the Beyoncés and stuff and Who Run the World girls, you know what I'm saying? It's totally dismantling the whole thing of it's a man's world and this, that, and the third. So I can definitely see how that song, you know what I'm saying, could be sending the wrong message, especially because, you know, in the black culture where Uncle Sam takes care of the woman and kind of misplaces the man out of the home. So the man is just literally like a thing of attraction to a woman, a body. He's not really considered, you know what I'm saying, regal, respect, you know what I'm saying, like the head, you know, that whole thing.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, like things like that, and especially because and it started with the black culture. It's kind of it's kind of crazy how that goes. I mean, like, it's really was a disease that was contained, and now it's just a disease that was just released. Like it's really it's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. Like, what are we doing? Like, and then women complain about all these weak men, yada yada, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yo, that's the culture that we created, and we let loose. We didn't check it. We let it go.
Right. You know what it is, Miles, too? Because I'm not trying to blame it all on, you know what I'm saying, the system. But I will say this. I'll say that the system recognized that there was a divide, you know, because number one, you know what I'm saying, we'll take it all the way back to slavery, right? How the slave masters, you know what I'm saying, would make the men with the women, you know what I'm saying, who they thought they was gonna, they treated us like cattle, you know what I'm saying? How was they gonna get the strongest children, you know what I'm saying? They called the men buck, you feel what I'm saying? But even still, even with that going on, these slave masters, they also, you know what I'm saying, raped the wives, you know what I'm saying, and that they put together and stuff like that or whatever, and had them having babies, and they had the house slaves, and then they had the field slaves and all of that, right? And so you trickle that down into the system that we living under right now, and they tell you stuff like, oh, we can't give you no help. You know what I'm saying? Families that really need help just need they need a little leg up. You never know. Like, it might be that one chance that they get that help where they can really push themselves up. You know, we're not talking about, because there are people that abuse the system. We're talking about, you know, the ones that really need that help, you know, to really catapult them into a space where they can be self-sufficient as a family. And they get people telling them like, well, look, you got the man in the household and he make X, Y, and Z, and because he's there, you know what I'm saying, we can't help you. They telling you to your face, you know what I'm saying, that the man has to not be present for you to even get help. You You know what I'm saying? So you put that into perspective and mix that in with a culture that really don't like is vibrating on a low frequency, that really don't know too much. Like there's some people that know, but then like we was talking about in the previous podcast, they use their knowledge for evil and for power, right? But I don't see too many people out there, and I know they out there. I know they are, but I don't see them. You know what I'm saying? That are taking the knowledge that they have that can catapult us into the next level of awareness and intelligence. You know what I'm saying? That can get us off of this codependency that we on and this divide that we're on in the first place, right? Like some of it is on us, but I feel like some of it also was created like this because if they can divide us, then they can conquer us. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Divide and conquer. Like in every, I would say, complex board game or game in general, they tell you that divide and conquer all the time because it works. It's always been effective. Always been an effective move psychologically and physically. So like, hey, even if you read that book, what is it, 48 Laws of Power, teaches you the same thing. If you look at all those famous strategic books, same thing. Like we are just I feel like we're just like you again. It goes back to what you said. It kind of seems like we are the test subject of all things, even from a psychological standpoint. I think we do have to break out of that shell of letting other people control us and subscribing to dangerous, I would say, ideals. I think we definitely need to trend off of that and figure out what we want for ourselves. And if that means separating ourselves from being too close with other cultures, then so be it. Because honestly, I feel like the more people we allow into our den, the more wolves we allow into our den, the more confusion, the more chaos it causes. I think we just need to have a little bit more autonomy in terms of our culture. And also just checking things that need to be checked. It starts within, right? Starts within. But yeah, like the attention topic again is the reason why it's just been on my mind a lot. It's just like if I was to bring my children into this world, thinking about what they consume, I guess you could say how I would discipline them has always always on my mind, like attention seeking, how to shut that down, shut that out, how to make my children become more individuals rather than being sheep in society. Like I always think about things like that, and I thought talking to you about it was a good thing because I'm like, I know you're going through it right now. I know you're going through that. Your mind is constantly thinking. I know your mind is thinking constantly, like trying to shield your children from all the shit. It's a tough task. Like you like, and then you have the man who, of course, wants to be physically protective of you and making sure you're good. I guess there's a lot of things on his mind as well. I can't imagine that.
Oh yeah, man.
But, sure, especially with girls, man, I'll put on them.
And we talk about that all the time. Like, it's literally a struggle, bro. Like, people don't understand, like the responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, this, like, honestly, I was talking to him the other day, and I was telling him, like, because he wants to have another baby eventually. And I'm just like, yeah, that sounds nice, right? In a perfect world, that would be wonderful. But we're not living in a perfect world. I said, what I think would be more better, you know what I'm saying, is to rescue some of these kids, you feel me, that are in unfortunate circumstances, like, rescue some of these kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, at the end of the day, I homeschool my kids, you know what I'm saying? And so, I know about the evils, you know what I'm saying, that can prevail out here in the world, which is the reason why, I hold my children so close to me, and because I want to create more individuals like what you were saying about yourself, like about me. Like, I want to create more individuals that can think for themselves. Like, I don't want to raise up more sheep. You know what I'm saying? Because even in ancient time, you know what I'm saying, in ancient teachings, we know humans to be like sheep. We know that. Why? Because it's easy for the mind, it's easy, it's more comforting to succumb to a system of the way things go. It's just comforting. This is why it's so easy for gang culture to happen and all these different cultures to be sustained. Why? Because they know that like scientifically, biologically, spiritually, mentally, however, whatever way you want to put it, you know what I'm saying? This is the thing that mankind relies on. You know what I'm saying? Like we, in a way, like if we was to be put into a system that was completely equal and just, then, you know, I mean, I'm sure that there would be like, you know, I'm not trying to say like everybody would be on point. There would be some fall-offs, but for the most part, the majority, you know what I'm saying, would be able to create something that's great and sustainable. We've seen humans do it throughout the history of time, right? So it is good to have a system like that in place, right? But the other side of that is, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know, you know, if it's something in the air, something, you know, something people eating, the water, I don't know what it is. But it's just like as time goes on, the people that are in charge of making sure that this system run right, they just as cooked as the next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's crazy. But yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you know, it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act. And this is why, like, there's people like you that got their podcast and stuff, because if you realize that this is how people's mind work, you know what I'm saying, then you can be a part of, you know, another system that can get people to go in a different direction. I'm not even gonna say follow, you know what I'm saying, right? Because the whole attention thing is surrounded around following as well, right? We're gonna say go, because with following, I feel like you don't even give nobody the choice to use their own mind, right? Like, you're just influencing them to believe what they see and love what they see. And if you're the focal point of attention, to love you, to eventually these platforms put bread in your pocket and all that stuff, right? But a true influencer, a true leader, you know what I'm saying, will give the person, just like in the Matrix when they said blue or red pill, which one you gonna pick, you feel me? And when you pick that, you're deciding to go in a certain direction. You know what I'm saying? You are changing the trajectory and the quality of your life. You know what I'm saying? And you're actually, by being a part of this, I don't know how to say it exactly, but this movement that's not following the rest, you know what I'm saying? It's bringing more power into that type of vision, where things are better, things are equal, more people are stronger, people are not zombies in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Where they're just, you know, overtaken by, you know, this attention seeking, you know, follow me type energy that's going on right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn, this thing's making my brain hurt. Not gonna lie, talking about this, because like there's so many aspects to it, and there's like so many things. Like it's very difficult. One thing I've also noticed with the attention, the sense of belonging, is in the sheeps and some of the leaders, is that, you know, I've always kind of been taking the red pill.
Which one at 100?
I always been taking it. I was like, I remember when it was in high school, like my math teacher was like, "Oh, you going to community college? You're not that smart." I still went to community college. Fuck him. I don't want to go to straight college. I want to save my ass some money. And I saved I did save tons of fucking money. I'm still getting my degree by this month. Like things like that. I'm like, hey, well, these people get $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, and then I got less than 100,000. Like I'm good.
Oh, that's right.
I'm excellent. Like when you see all that messaging, like I've always like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Right.
Especially with real estate like I sat down with somebody to talk about like buying property, buying a condo, buying a house, potentially buying a house. He was telling me like all these things that he could do for me, and then he told me to follow this. How would I say? He told me to follow this step by step thing, like these set of instructions, these set of rules you should have before getting a place. But then I'm sitting down here, right? As soon as we're done the conversation, I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, but then how come doctors? How come lawyers? How come people with these, even engineers? Why do these people have these expensive houses, but yet they have all this student loan and debt? And yet I have to follow like these set of rules, lowering my debt to at least zero, and then of course saving up to $40,000 to $50,000 in oh shit money. Like I thought about that. I'm like, then how come these people are? How are they doing this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So like when I always challenge I would say I always challenge what people say to me, and sometimes I take it, sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna go test and see what's going on. Like that's always been my nature. You know what I mean? Like it's for me to not only test the waters, it's also for me to be like, how can I make this thing better? How can I make this thing work for me? Where when everybody else is doing one thing, because when everybody else is doing one thing, there's some shit at the end of it, because like there's chance for exploitation, right?
Right.
And so I'm like, I'm not trying to be exploited.
People doing the same thing, it's gonna be watered down. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody gotta do something different.
Exactly, and that goes back to the school thing, right? Where my teacher was trying to force me into going to fucking college. Like, go regular college, go to, like, some fancy-ass school somewhere. Same thing, I was like, You know what I mean? I've always been like that. Yeah. And, like, I never try to put all my eggs in one basket, as they say, Alicia. I'm not that type of guy. I'll put a little bit there, see what's going on. If it doesn't work for me, I'll pull out without losing too much.
Have to. That's smart.
That's what I always have been doing, and it's been working for me throughout the years. I've stand on neutral ground most of the time, which is not a bad nor necessarily good thing. Now I know that there are people who, of course, followed a certain format and won all these things, but I've also met people of the opposite experience, where they put everything in and follow these instructions to get burned, and most people get burnt. Right. Have you ever heard about these people? What was it? Have you seen like all these like crypto, all these stock people, and they'd say, "Oh yeah, follow my program," right? And then you make this much money, and then some people make money, but a lot of them don't. It's like the same. It's like the same concept. Follow me.
You know why, Miles? You know why? Because they watching other groups. Listen, I tap into this stuff. You feel what I'm talking about? So I know, like, because they say, like, if you wanna know what rich people is doing, if you want to become rich, study what they doing and doing it, right? So they adopted this concept into their lives, not having the same, experience as, say, a person that's been in it for 20 plus years, and they carrying over from the baby booming era into this era. You know what I'm saying? They in their 70s and in 60s, and they got these programs where they legit can give you knowledge, right? And then they got the people like, around my age, you know what I'm saying? That's like maybe like 40, you know what I'm saying? Or hitting their 40s or something, that's watching them and telling them, like, listen, we're in the age of information. You feel what I'm saying? And people are, and I hate to put it like this because nobody's never said it like this, but I'm going to say it like this. You feel what I'm talking about? Because I'm going to keep it straight. But people are sheep, and we're in the age of information, and people just want something to follow. So people will pay for knowledge. Not everyone, because some people do consider it a scam. And in certain circles, in certain teachings, to pay for knowledge, yes, it is a great investment, right? they got this saying, like, you put your money into knowledge, then knowledge is going to contribute into your bag. You feel what I'm saying? But the people that's listening to it and they're like, oh, so we live in an age of knowledge, and whatever I'm learning from you, you know what I'm saying? If I can go and flip that, and there's some people that's not even like, I gotta apply it. They're like, yo, I don't even gotta apply this. If I could find a way to convince people that I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're breaking up there.
Right. Then I ain't even gotta get no money in my pocket practicing what I just learned. I can get the money from them and them practicing what I've learned. And I'm just it's like you buy a house and you flip it without putting any work into the house. You just bought the house, you feel what I'm saying, for a certain value, and then you just upscaled the house, you know what I'm saying, without putting any work into it. And somebody was I'm not gonna say dumb, I'm just gonna say they was ignorant, you know what I'm saying, to the flip you just made. People do it all the time with cars and all that stuff. Like, there was this guy that was an ultimate scam. I don't know if you just heard of it with DJ Envy and all that stuff. And
DJ Envy.
You heard about him? Yes.
Yeah,
man.
I've heard about that too.
My guy learned a little bit about real estate, right? And didn't learn much to really do anything with it, but he learned just enough to convince people. Rubbed arms, you never know, because like I was telling my husband, I said, we don't know what his relationship was with DJ Envy. They could have grew up together, you feel what I'm saying? But we don't know that part. And we also know that, like, DJ Envy is stupid, because I'm sorry to say, but looking at DJ Envy's, like, you know what I'm saying, his little thing throughout the years, Brother Man is just he try to portray himself like he a smart one, but he not. You feel what I'm saying?
He's not smart at all.
He's not. So he rubbed arms with somebody that just happened to be rich but not smart. And then he used that influence to get into the pockets of other people. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like that, Miles. It's like that. A lot of people out there, you don't need no skill to convince somebody that you know what you're talking about. All you need to know these days, all you need to know is that, okay, we're living in the age of knowledge and people will pay for that. Like, I don't even have to provide a product no more. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to go and make something. I don't have to go and make a lotion or this or that. Like, all I have to do is, it's called motivational speaking, or you doing something. All I got to do is sound like I know what I'm talking about, and I will get some followers guaranteed. People will pay to hear me speak. You know what I'm saying? It's a weakness. And that's why these things are sustained, like this attention-seeking culture, because people know that fly. Like, people got followers just to what's the word? Like, play pranks on people. Like, people are so dumbed down that they will really be distracted by families that just play pranks on each other or act like they just went and bought a mansion when they really didn't, right? They're showing you this mansion that they supposedly just bought, but they didn't buy it. And just all this stuff just for views and likes, because they know. And I'm not even going to say, like, it's just people, period. It's not just people. It's the parents not monitoring what their children is watching, because it's the children as well. Children are very impressionable. Like, you got the Kai Cenat thing where he told a bunch of kids to meet him to go do this and that in New York, get these things that he was giving out, and it ended up turning into a crazy thing where the cops got involved and smashing cars and all this and that. So.
Well, speaking of that Kai Cenat thing, just additionally, doesn't it kind of remind you of the Travis Scott thing as well? I mean, like, I know there's a difference between, like, deaths, but like the thing is that you can't control, like, when you get that big, it's like you can't control what people do, and I don't think necessarily celebrities or people of that sort should be blamed for that. I mean, like, if you do, I mean, to an extent, yes, and to an extent, no. Like, when people just die, like, why does it do anything with... All right, this is my argument. Let me backtrack. My argument is that if I'm famous and I tell people, like, hey, meet me up here, that's my responsibility, right? Because I'm sending people to my location, right? Now, I don't know who I'm sending to my location, I'm just saying, I'm trying to do like a good thing. I'm trying to make people like, I'm trying to make people feel good. I'm trying to make people, I'm trying to make people just like celebrate a little bit. And then, of course, you got people, I call them dark actors. You know what I'm saying? You got people that come out of nowhere, start trouble, yada, yada. Like, it to a degree, I'm like, should people honestly be, I guess, should they really be punished for that? Like, it's like one. It's hard. It's hard to be like, should they be the only people responsible?
Right. I don't think he should be punished, honestly, but I do think that it should be like a slap on the wrist because, like, you have all these followers. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're not. And here's the thing, right? It's about making an example of the situation. I don't think that he should be punished. I think that there should be a slap on the wrist because, number one, you know what I'm saying? You got over 1 million subscribers, people that tune in. How did you think it was gonna go? Like you're telling a bunch of young, out of control. That's the thing. Like, out of control teens to come and meet you somewhere, right? To come get some stuff. And the thing is, he didn't even, like, they showed up, but he didn't show up until later. So he could have showed up real quick, did it, got it over with, everybody go home. You feel what I'm saying? But he wanted that, I guess, late introduction. You know how people be doing. They have everybody gather at the club while they waiting for you. Make your grand entrance, whether it's your birthday or whatever. That's the thing. And that was his thing in his mind. Back to the attention-seeking thing. You feel what I'm saying? In his mind.
True.
That's why he got this whole thing going on, because he loves the attention. Okay? It's not like Brother Man don't got no money. He well off. He good. You know what I'm saying? But this is his hood fame, in a way. You feel what I'm saying? So he like, I'm going to get these things out. I'm going to see how many people pop out for me. Not bearing in mind that, this is a bunch of hood kids, you know what I'm saying, that's coming out to come and see me. I got over 1 million followers. This could possibly get out of control. He didn't have it in a control area. He said, meet me. It's not even like he paid for a certain thing and said, the first so-and-so people get this and that. After that, it's a wrap. You feel what I'm saying? Have some type of control about it.
But it goes back to the... It also goes back to what you said. Not all people who are rich are smart.
that was just dumb. So I do feel like it should be some type of slap on the wrist. Even if I was like a judge that, like, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't give him no jail time, but I'd put him through the process, because that could have got out of control. Like, and I mean, it did get out of control, but it could have been worse than that, though. Honestly.
True. Isn't the same thing with who's that Little Uzi? Same deal. Like, he literally went to New York, decided to do a little music thing, and then there was like a crowds of people, and then the cops had to come through. Like, are they truly just that stupid, or do they know they're to cause havoc? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I
think they don't know. And that's the problem with it. I mean, that's why you have people that, are famous, that have people handle their finances, and people still right from under them. There's only a certain thing that you can provide. There's only a certain skill that you can have. Other than that, they want to take care of the rest because they know that it could be overwhelming. So like you said, a person, and like I said earlier too, a person can be rich and still be stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, I mean, it's a certain freedom in knowledge seeking and getting the knowledge for yourself and always asking questions. You know what I'm saying? Like we say through these podcasts all the time, like, it's better for you to not be a part of the fold. You know what I'm saying? To have your own mind. You know what I'm saying? And really, you know what I'm saying? Think about what you want for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, just following a program or following what somebody else is doing, it's not going to cultivate and build no character. And I think a lot of people at the end of the day, they don't realize, and I say this all the time, it's a repetitive thing. I said it at my daughter's party, and I said it a couple of times on a different podcast with you, that we're illuminated beings. People they really fail to realize that. You feel what I'm saying? The stuff that we see on TV, all of these spiritual things and these magical things that be going on and stuff, where you think that stuff come from? Because they know that it's on the inside of us. You know what I'm saying? That we could really reach into the spirit realm, pull something out of there, you know what I'm saying, and bring it into reality so that you can see it. This is where people was able to pave roadways into forests and create that. Why? Because it started out as an idea. This is why we living in houses right now, because it started out as an idea. You know what I'm saying? It evolved over time. Don't nothing separate us, you know what I'm saying, from our predecessors that did it before, except the fact that we've just been able to accept the current program that we in and be dumbed down by the system that we in, and really to think that, like, okay, you know what I'm saying, this whole thing about social media and getting followers and it's a distraction. It's a distraction, okay? And honestly, it's the killer of dreams. It really is. Because if you don't have those distractions like social media and followers and this, that, and the third, all you have is yourself. And when you deal with yourself, you know what I'm saying, then it's like, oh, I got to work on me. That's when your dreams start to come true. That's when you start to become stronger. You know what I'm saying? When you're focusing on yourself. And honestly, Miles, I think that it really is dangerous the way you said. And it's dangerous on a level that people are not even aware of, you know, that like, this attention seeking and following and stuff is creating a bunch of walking dead people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have no real, like, whatever. You know, they got their little systems, their little things in place that they got going on. You know what I'm saying? And then either you're a follower or you want followers. Or even if you want followers, you still a follower in some type of way, because you're subscribing to the system of, I need attention to feel like I'm valuable. You know what I'm saying? But you can't really look on the inside of yourself and be like, yo, bro, that's who I am. I don't need nobody to tell me, you know what I'm saying, what I should already know about myself. And that's something that I'm working on too at 38. You know what I'm saying? Like at 38, you know what I'm saying? I got to tell myself constantly, you know, in this journey that I'm on, with creating my business and everything, that I don't need no validation. If I believe in what I'm doing is helping people, and I hear, like, it's one thing to hear people tell you that, right? People are telling you, like, your stuff is helping me and this, that, and the third, and that's great. But what's going to make it even better is, do I believe? Like Deion Sanders was saying, you know Deion Sanders, what he going through, right? Yeah. He don't need no followers. He's like, he got this thing like, I believe. Do y'all believe? You feel what I'm saying? And his thing is grounded in spirituality. You can tell. And so people hating that about him because they don't want, you know, any black person, let alone a black man, you know what I'm saying, to be like, yo, in other words, I don't need y'all, you know what I'm saying, to show me how great I am. I got my accolades and I did that. Not so that I could hear anything from you. I did that for me. That was because of what I wanted to do. God gave me the gift and I ran with it. You feel what I'm saying? So now at this point, he's trying to do his thing with the youth and they don't want to see that happening. But what I love about Deion Sanders' personality is brother man he be like, yo, y'all didn't believe before, but I bet y'all believe now. And for real. And they be trying to get him. Like when they lost that game and stuff, and they was just like, you know, how you feel now? And he was like, what you mean? Like, how am I supposed to feel? You win some and you lose some, but I still believe.
Unbothered. People hate people who are unbothered. Like I've listen, I am unbothered and I'm unbothered in some aspects of certain relationships. Yes. Like I've met a woman who was trying to make me to subscribe to her ideals, and I was like, nah, I'm fighting a different battle. I'm fighting a different battle than you are, and I think it is important for me to have my own individualism, and you should have your own individualism. But she was like, so like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And I'm like, no, I'm fighting a different game than you are. I'm sorry. I was so unbothered by it, and it pissed her off. Like, mind you, this was just a friend. This was nothing. It wasn't like a girlfriend or a boyfriend situation. It was more so like a hookup type of thing. Blah blah blah. But she wanted more out of the relationship, and in order to progress, she wanted me to subscribe to her ideals, give it like a little surface test, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nope. And then she was getting resistance. I'm like, nope, I don't believe in that. Nope, I don't do that. Nope. It's just not how.
That's that low key attention, Miles, and that follower that she was looking for some type of confirmation. If she could get that out of you, she considered that's her love language. And I'm not saying that it had nothing to do with, like you said, a deep relationship, but that's her love language as far as bonding with people. If I can get somebody to agree with me, confirm that my thinking is good, then we good. That's a new relationship built. You feel attention, right back to the attention.
Yeah, like I'm trying to, like, I think having a partner who challenges your ideas is not necessarily a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if it becomes argumentative
and obsessive. Because at the end of the day, you should be able to, like, agree to disagree. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to, and that's the maturity. Like, that's what separates a child from an adult. At the end of the day, you got to be able to say, well, look, if this person don't agree with what I think, like, they don't owe me nothing. They don't have to agree. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let's have that debate. Debates are healthy. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? They don't owe me nothing to agree with what I'm saying. But am I standing in my truth? You know what I'm saying? Am I standing on my 10 toes? That's what should matter at the end of the day, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Right or wrong.
Right or wrong. Hey, listen now. Dang, we talked a lot today. I think we're like 57 minutes, almost a full hour in. I just got to think of 47, but no. So I know that when you have like these great conversations and things of that sort. But I do want to switch topics a little bit. Well, guys, this is the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe, whatever platform you are using. Any little help would be greatly appreciated to make this podcast grow even bigger. Well, peace out and have a nice day.